Welcome back to the Daily Dose. My name is Robert. That's Susan. Yesterday we left you talking about Susan, talking about her time watching Tim Haig's adventures, and tell us more because I certainly know who he is in the community and his time with the Amazing Race. What'd you see?
Uh, Tim was probably 3 or 4 years into his diagnosis, maybe, of Parkinson's when he and his son took on the Amazing Race of Canada, the inaugural race, which is, I can't remember now, 5,500 miles. They got to get across the whole country. And they have to follow clues, and
Right.
there's a lot of obstacle course type stuff, and you have to be creative and you have to make things happen. And, they had all kinds of problems, and it just failed every time along the way, every stage, except the last one that they won, which put them far enough ahead that they won the whole thing.
Yeah.
And his talk is about, he starts off with um, the thing that we all hear about, everything you learned in life, need to know in life, you learned in kindergarten.
Right.
And he wraps the talk up by going back to that, and that's what I wanted to talk about relative to what we were just saying about effort. He said that his kindergarten teacher, in addition to saying "Shut up, Timmy, stop talking to him," said to him every day, um, "Have fun, do your best." And the thing that he added was, "Have the courage to be content that you've done your best." In other words, don't judge yourself. Go out there and know you're doing your best.
Hmm.
And if it was your best, then be content with that. Don't
Right.
judge yourself and then persevere. Just keep going. And the concept of being content to accept that you really did do your best, no excuses, no built in self talk or whatever. I thought that was really profound, really important
Oh, yeah.
piece of the puzzle. And then the persevere, the resilience to keep going is essential. Yeah,
Yeah, I love that because what I hear is a couple things there. Number one, it takes it off of, if you remove a scale that says, you have to get here to here, and instead says, here's just where you started, and here's where you got to. And that if that becomes the teacher or instructor's role is to help measure the distance as opposed to outside in. We always talk about that measure that say you have to get from here to here, that just may be very difficult for whatever reason, or may be very limiting too. That there's the other side of that, right? This
yeah.
whole teach to the middle thing is really bad. Well, it's just unfair. I don't know about bad, but it's certainly unproductive. So, you want the best from students. You have to give them the opportunity to move at their given pace. And I do think one of the things you brought up there was the courage to give yourself, that you did well. Is that what I heard you say?
Yeah, the
Um,
courage to be content that you've
right.
done your best.
I had a karate teacher, my first karate teacher, who I really enjoyed when I was an undergrad at San Diego State, was PE class, and just took it on a lark, always was interested. This guy was just cool. And he really made a big deal at the end of our classes of taking us through like a 1 to 2 minute guided meditation. And it's super positive affect, saying, you've done well today. Give yourself credit for, the growth and this, that, and the other. Leaving on that note is such a big deal. And, you know, I've said time and again, what's become clear to me based on both the feedback and the research, the most important thing I know I do is I build a positive environment for people to have that moment. And we leave on, I like, I wish, what if, right? Where
We do.
people get to say, here's what I felt.
Mhm.
And I think that's so important because it's their chance to give their kind of final, here's where I'm going with this. Here's how I'm taking this out into the world, as it were. No right or wrong answer. So important that they have that within them. So I think that's
It's
great. I'll put the link to what I have for Tim's stuff below so people can check it out, because
yeah, yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
haven't seen it, you should. He's great.
Yes. I like I wish what if is how we leave.
Yeah.
Um, your entire the the bones of what you do, this structure on which you built this is all about positivity. And I
Yeah.
had the experience yesterday. I'm talking to a college friend whose wife has had Parkinson's for 19 years. And also, as they say, she got the trifecta. She also has lupus and a seizure disorder. So she really, really struggles. And so I was talking, she had been with us for a while and then she excused herself. And I continued talking to the husband about the rest of the work that you do, that I was doing with you. And when it got to improv, I was describing what that means in this format. And I said, it's not competitive. And explained what that meant. And I could hear on the phone this audible sigh of relief. He would have been potentially interested unless it was like most of the improv he had seen,
Yeah.
which has its own joy and its own kind of fun way to do it. It's just
That's
not
right.
what we do. Yeah, and he had actually done a hero's journey weekend with a men's group, like out, in the woods or something, and may even join us in the future
I
for
think,
another
I think,
PD superheroes.
what's that?
As a PD superhero.
Yeah. I think competition and performance are two third rail words that leave a lot of people out, that are not, they're not bad, they're not wrong. They're just, because it's how the form is popularly known,
Yes,
it
thanks.
makes people entirely uncomfortable and feel like it's not for them. And so it's some of our strongest and most constant effort on our part to put
Right.
forward, to say, this is not that. And maybe, we need to, this is a brainstorm quick to say, how do we, instead of saying this is not what it is, this is what it is, so it somehow undercuts that, you know what I mean? If it's not that thing, what is it positively, that what could it be, so it would be known as what it is, and it would necessarily not be competitive or performance based? I don't know what
We have
those
this
things are.
great thing is the name. Yax is just, it's
That,
completely unique,
yeah,
right?
that's right.
And yeah, so it's like not improv, it's Yax. There
Yeah, yeah. There you go. So yeah, we'll
you
keep playing with that. Well, okay.
go. Okay.
Well, that's our time for today. That's your daily dose. Thanks so much. Keep putting in great effort.
You too.